Have you ever thought that one single decision could change not just the fate of a game, but the hearts of millions and the entire legacy of a person? Today, I'm going to tell you exactly such a story, a tale of heroism that extends far beyond the football pitch. This isn't just about a star's rise, it's a triumph of humanity. The Champions League final, that unparalleled night where the heart of European football beat its fastest. Moscow's Luzhniki Stadium trembled with the roar of tens of thousands of fans and millions of eyes glued to screens focused on one name: Cristiano Ronaldo. The pride of Manchester United, he was their biggest asset to achieve victory against Chelsea. For Ronaldo, this wasn't just a football match. It was the prelude to the moment he would engrave his name in history with golden letters, shouting to the world, "I am the best." On that night, it wasn't just a trophy at stake, but a legacy. As he left his luxurious home in Manchester, the city seemed to hold its breath. An electrified energy hung in the air. Red flags waved in the wind, and the chants of "United, United" pierced the sky. Ronaldo, sitting comfortably in the back seat of his armored, sleek black sports car, was completely detached from the outside world. The rhythmic music flowing from his headphones focused every neuron in his brain on a single purpose: victory. The game plan he had envisioned countless times in his mind. The goals he would score. The euphoria of triumph. Everything was clear, flawless. But life, as it often does, is full of unexpected surprises that can derail even our grandest plans. Just a few miles from the stadium, with a sudden sharp screech of brakes, the car came to an abrupt halt. Ronaldo's driver had swerved hard, narrowly avoiding a collision, but the scene ahead was heartbreaking. A small, shattered red sedan had violently crashed with a delivery van, turning the road into a veritable war zone. Traffic had ground to a standstill, and a curious crowd had gathered at the scene. Ronaldo, initially thinking he was in a movie scene, instinctively got out of the car to witness this surreal sight. Through the crowd, cries for help hit his ears.
Right in the middle of the wreckage, among the twisted metal, his attention was drawn to a tiny body, no older than 12. Her name was Jessica. Blood seeped from her forehead, staining her pale face, and her eyes were filled with terror. The young girl was trapped in the sedan's back seat. Outside the car, her mother had collapsed to the ground, crying hysterically, desperately pleading for help. Her tears flowed endlessly, like an unstoppable downpour from her cheeks. The desperate mother's agony echoed in the silence of the crowd. Ronaldo didn't hesitate for a moment. He pulled out his phone to call emergency services, but the operator's voice sounded hopeless. "Traffic is gridlocked. It will take time for units to get there." Jessica's breathing grew shallower, and her mother's screams turned into continuous sobs. The crowd murmured anxiously, but no one seemed to know what to do. Everyone just watched. His match was just 2 hours away. The historic final was pitted against the life of a little girl left to her fate. It was at that moment that Ronaldo made one of the biggest decisions of his career. His gaze locked with the tearful mother, and with unwavering determination he said, "I'll take her to the hospital." This sentence heralded that the night was not just about a football match, but a much greater test of humanity. Before we dive into the nail-biting race against time, if you're enjoying this story, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. Your support helps us bring you more inspiring content like this. Ronaldo's shocked security team, after a momentary pause, quickly brought the situation under control. Amidst the stunned gazes of the crowd, Ronaldo embraced tiny Jessica. The girl's fragile body felt almost feather-light in his arms. Her mother, with trembling hands, got into the back seat, and Ronaldo drove his car to the nearest hospital as fast as humanly possible. Every second was precious. The tension inside the car was palpable. Jessica's breathing grew weaker, each shallow breath piercing their hearts. Her mother, between sobs, continuously thanked Ronaldo, whispering words of gratitude. Ronaldo, meanwhile, checked the road in the rearview mirror, while also reaching out to feel Jessica's pulse. Every traffic light, every turn, felt like an obstacle in this desperate race against time. In those silent, frantic minutes, when even ambulance sirens couldn't reach them, Ronaldo was not just a footballer, but a savior. Finally, upon reaching the emergency room doors, Ronaldo carried Jessica inside. The cries of "Emergency!" echoing in the hallway alerted doctors and nurses. Ronaldo quickly explained the situation as he handed Jessica over. As he waited anxiously, doctors informed him that Jessica's condition had stabilized, but she needed immediate surgery. Weak but conscious, Jessica slowly opened her eyes and, looking at Ronaldo, whispered, barely audibly, "Will you win the game for me, Ronaldo?" Ronaldo knelt down, wiping the beads of sweat from his forehead. The hopeful gaze in Jessica's pale face made him utter the most important promise of his life. Looking into her eyes, he said, "I promise, Jessica, I'll win it for you." At that moment, it became a turning point in Ronaldo's football career. Now he would play not just for himself, but for the hope of a little girl. Hours had simply melted away. Less than an hour remained until the match began. Ronaldo, filled with adrenaline, made a final dash from the hospital to the stadium. Bursting into the locker room, he was met with the astonished stares of his teammates and coaching staff. They had already begun their warm-up. Ignoring Coach Ferguson's questioning glances, Ronaldo silently put on his jersey, closed his eyes, and refreshed the promise he had made to Jessica in his mind. He said not a word about what had happened. Now his entire focus was on the pitch. With the kickoff whistle, a thick curtain of tension fell over Luzhniki Stadium. Chelsea was like a giant. They applied ruthless pressure all over the field, keeping Manchester United constantly on edge. Lampard's shots, Drogba's power, every attack brought hearts to mouths. But Ronaldo was a force to be reckoned with all over the field. Every pass, every dribble, every sprint carried a different meaning. In that moment, it wasn't just a game, but part of a larger struggle. It was as if with every touch he heard little Jessica's whisper. It was the 80th minute of the game. The score was still 1-1, and tension was at its peak. The fans' patience was running out. It was then that Ronaldo, like a magician, took the ball in midfield. After dribbling past a few players, a magnificent cross from Ryan Giggs soared through the air. Ronaldo, like a superhero, defied gravity, leaping high. Time seemed to slow down. The ball and Ronaldo's head met in perfect harmony. The header was so powerful and precise that goalkeeper Cech's attempts to reach it were futile. The ball, rippling the net, found the back of Chelsea's goal. Goal! Manchester United had taken the lead. The stadium erupted. Cheers of joy from the red stands ripped through the sky. Ronaldo sprinted towards the corner flag after the goal. His face showed an indescribable joy, yet also a deep significance. First he pointed to the sky, then to the camera. His lips moved silently. "This is for Jessica." Millions of people were unaware of the true story behind this gesture, but at that moment it proved how big the heart of a football legend was. With the final whistle, Manchester United ascended to the top of Europe. The championship celebration was at its peak during the trophy ceremony. Ronaldo was named Man of the Match, one of the first to lift the trophy on the field. However, his mind was not on the championship medal, nor on the cheers of the fans. As soon as the celebrations ended, he quietly left the stadium. His only desire was to see little Jessica again. In the dimly lit hospital corridors, his heart still pounding, he opened the door to Jessica's room. The little girl was awake, a pale but genuine smile on her face. She was surrounded by colorful flowers and balloons. Ronaldo handed her his sweaty jersey. "This belongs to you, Jessica," he said, his voice trembling. "You're the real hero tonight." The sparkle in Jessica's eyes was more valuable than all the trophies Ronaldo had ever won. This jersey had become a symbol not of a footballer's victory on the field, but of humanity. Jessica's story did not remain confined to the hospital room. It quickly spread, gracing newspaper headlines and becoming news on television channels. The entire world spoke of Ronaldo's selflessness at that critical moment. This humane gesture, combined with his incredible performance in the match, elevated Ronaldo not just as a footballer, but as a role model. Fans applauded him, not only for his goals and talent, but also for his character, empathy, and courage to put others before himself. From that night on, Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy was no longer limited to the goals he scored, the trophies he won, or the records he broke. It transformed into a story of humanity, proof of how a sportsman's choice at the most critical moment could inspire millions and how great a star could be off the pitch. That night, Ronaldo didn't just win a match. That night, he won the hearts of millions, and this victory became the brightest victory of his career. This was more than just a football story. It was a testament to courage, kindness, and resilience. Ronaldo didn't just win a match that night. He won the hearts of millions. If you loved this inspiring story, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more amazing tales, and leave a comment below to tell us what you thought. Your support helps us share these incredible moments with the world.